Good morning, my wonderful people.
Morning.
Good morning, the chosen one. Good
Yeah.
morning, the stakeholders. We are definitely having a stakeholders meeting this morning.
Mhm.
Welcome to the program. We are so excited to have you. We don't care what's going on around you. When you are determined, when you have a set goal, and you have what you need to get to that destination, nothing can overtake that. So we are so excited. We know what we are working towards, and it's the righteous thing, and it will eventually come to pass. So we are in a position where we can see the clear path, the pathway to where we're going. We are not confused about what we want and how we want it. So we are loaded this morning with mucho information, like Spanish people would say, to get you, thinking about how this whole space, this terrorist space called Nigeria, has kept us all in a circle, like we always said. They bring one revolving door, my sister have termed it. They bring one, the other one leave. They bring one, the other one leave. They stabilize our economy, and the more they do that, or the state of the so-called union, the more they destabilize, we can never move forward because we build, they break down. We build, they break down. We build, so we will never finish building. And that's why we're saying we need to do the right thing. We need to follow the right pathway so we can solve this problem once and for all. Why is it so hard for my people to understand? Why are we having issues understanding what needs to be done? Thank God for this so-called social media. We are everywhere. You have information. We are on YouTube at Daughters of Truth. We are on Twitter as Daughters of Truth. We are on Instagram. We are on Facebook as Daughters of Truth. Go in there if you really want to understand. Go in there and learn. There is also the Nina's website, ninasvoice.org. We have packed that website with lots of information to get you going. So there's no reason to pledge ignorance anymore. There's no reason to say, "Oh, I didn't know. I've never heard it." We are telling you now. We are alerting you now. You have enough information to arm yourself to be able to deliver a knockout punch of information. Our goal is to make our people political literate so
Yep.
that no animal will come from anywhere. Say, "Ah, barakata, but you don't have a job." They will tell you, you will get a car, you will get a promotion. How are you going to get a car promotion when you don't have a job? No.
Mm.
We are talking about challenging everyone with their stupid information because you are well loaded with the correct information. So we don't want our children to suffer anymore. We want to be a sustainable economy for our children. We want to be able to leave them inheritance, just like the Bible said that we should do. So, welcome. Let me not take off. Continue to help us to share. You know what they are doing because we are not shaking bomb bomb. They will block it from our people to see the video. So, help us to share, help us to like, subscribe. That whole nine, whatever they want us to do, the social media things that they want us to do, because the more we engage our people and teach them this information that we are sharing today, the more we'll be able to conquer the enemy and conquer them fast. Thank you. Oh, my name is Mona Chimsaga, and I'm here in Houston, Texas.
Thank you so much, my sister. Thank you, our people. The those that are returning, always watch. Once we open the shop, they come. Let's do it. Let's do it. You're welcome. The people that are coming for the first time, you're also welcome. Please help us share, like my sister said. Follow us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, and hit the bell on YouTube so that once the video drops, you will pick it and watch it. We'll try and make it 1 hour, pack it so that you can get all the information you need with limited amount of your data. And we also have the Twitter space. Also, it's like audio, and it will help us to get this message to our people. Because we understand they don't have data. That's part of the evil they did to our people, so that they will keep them ignorant and then continue to siphon what they're siphoning. So before my sister will pull up, of course, my name is Dr. AP Simon Okube. Before my sister will pull up the theme video, we'll just tell you one or two things so that you prepare your mind as you watch that video. You say, how did we get to this mess? Whether you're talking about insecurity, asset stripping, infrastructural decay, forced migration, or what others believe that should be called escape from Nigeria. It's like the movie we watch when we are small, say, is it 90 minutes in Antebellum or something like that. So now this one is the Bunny House of Nigeria. We're escaping from Nigeria. Our people are escaping from Nigeria. And why are they escaping? Why are they escaping Nigeria from Nigeria? And Nina said that means that they have rejected Nigeria. They have rejected Nigeria and its poverty, and the poverty and the death that it represents. That's what the people are saying. That's why everybody's running out. Big, small, old, young, everyone is running out. So we are saying that we currently do not have democracy because we allowed our territories and resources to be hijacked in 1966 when our people's sovereignty and intention to build a federation was suspended and disrupted. In its place, what did they do? What did they put in this place? They put unrepentant criminals. Unrepentant criminals took over as the management team, and they continue to push us in this journey of recklessness. Like my sister said, we go in, come out, go in, come out. Oh, I forgot that my sister had needed to give introduction before I start running. I'm
That's
sorry.
okay. That's part of.
Just go. It's part of the introduction. Right there. Just go on because we're in a hurry to give you these things. Go ahead with your introduction. I forgot that we've not given our introduction because we shared it through the week, and we know you're prepared. Please go ahead, my sister. I was like, something is not right. I'm not supposed to be talking. I'm supposed to be sharing. Let me
That's
share videos while my
funny.
sister continue with introduction. It makes sense. Please go ahead. I will continue from. Don't forget where I stopped. I will continue.
Absolutely. So right now we are sharing as much as possible. I'm trying to send it to people that they are blocking from getting it before they start texting me while we're on air so that they can have it. So let's take a few minutes to share. Hmm. I have a song that is singing in my head. You know that song that we say, Naru Naru, I gave with Mary, Naru Naru, I gave with Mary. Jisike Naru, I gave with Mary, Naru Naru, I gave with Mary. So basically, the song is saying, keep working, Ige win Mary. Oh, here I am speaking Igbo again. Keep working, you will win at the end. Keep working. So we are not deterred at all. We are excited in our spirits. As mothers, we are going to do these things that we need to ensure that our children will enjoy their lives with their own children. So, as our topic says, the recklessness of elders has created poverty for the youth. Not just for the youth, for the whole country, for the whole everyone that exists in that fell space called Nigeria. I don't know if for some reason I feel like my voice is slow. Sisebi, can you hear me
I can
okay?
hear you well. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, maybe I've lost my hearing.
Except they give us feedback. That
Yeah, if you
you
can
know,
hear me, yeah, if you can hear me, just let me know. I feel like I'm not sounding out right. All right. So I am not here to pro Buhari, according to Dr. Amadu Adamu. I'm sorry, head of the Interim Management Committee of Petroleum Special Trust Fund. Of course, he was in charge of that in 1999. He said, "I'm not here to pro Buhari because that is a not the mandate of PTF's Interim Management Committee. Whatever happened when Buhari was the head of state is long forgotten, and he is my friend. Isn't that what we do every day? We even forget what happened yesterday, talk less of what happened when Buhari was the petroleum chairman. We know for so many years that these people continue to take us on a merry-go-round that keeps us dizzy and confused about who we are and what we need to do to live the best life. For over 50 years, under the watch of those who could have intervened, Nigeria played a Guardian newspaper analyst termed revolving door game with their friends, their family members, and business associates coming in and out of Nigerian leadership like they own the world. These people are so wasteful. The amount of resources they've stolen over the years is not enough for them to sustain their lives. They are draining our pipelines while our people are suffering. Our elders, self made generals, politicians, church leaders, and their colonial partners, they wreck the country and the geographical space that they call home as if, it belongs to them. And once they are done, they will even shit inside the pothole of the soup that everybody is supposed to eat. Excuse my language. But now that the resources are thinning out and the population has quadrupled with millions of people to feed, we can see that our elders, every one of them, people that are supposed to be in charge of the land, people that are supposed to protect their children, people that are supposed to stand up for what is right, we know that they have been exposed, that we can see exactly what is hiding beneath. It is now evident to keen and smart observers that the ship called Nigeria has capsized. Therefore, it is our right, our responsibility, especially those of us that are still the remnants left, to step in and save the situation through a very calculated and well thought out process that will deliver the passenger with the least casualty. P2B told us, reminded us very well that Nigeria is a car without engine. Anyone driving it is about to, you know what a car without engine will do. So, and we're still in that situation as the Nigerian populace yearn and call for a move towards a more sustainable change. Today, we are going to evaluate the available options and intervention strategies, especially that of Nigerian Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination. One thing I like about what we're doing is that we have an option. This is not the days where nobody knew what is going on. So if people refuse to yield to the call of Ninas and they proceed with the nuclear weapon that they call erection, when it blows up in their face, God wouldn't have anything to do with that. The universe wouldn't have anything to do with that. It will strictly be your decision, the poor decision that you have made that kept you in your perpetual poverty, in your perpetual lack of development, in your perpetual merry-go-round. God has given us an example with our sister Usita Nachi that sang all the song. Whenever I remember that lady, I say, wow, this is exactly what's going on in Nigeria. This woman was singing heavenly songs that make you cry and shiver. But because she didn't do the right thing, because she didn't make the right move, because she thinks she can sabotage God with singing songs, she was taken out. And that's what's going to happen to all of us. If we continue to neglect what we're supposed to do and continue to do what we don't need to do to get ourselves out of the situation, we will have ourselves to blame. So in the interest of time, I will pull up our first video. Please continue to help us to share, like. God is not going to do this for us. Keep remembering this. 400 years or 400 to 500 years of slavery, God did not come down and kill them. He didn't come down and capsize the ship. He didn't come down and destroy everything. That means that he's waiting for you, and me to take the right action so that we can liberate ourselves. He's not coming down. Fasting and prayer ain't gonna do it. Building churches in every part of our land is not gonna do it. Pretending and singing that a criminal will come and save you from this because he's collecting his own share will not save you from this. You must do the right thing to get the right outcome that you want. Go ahead, sister, while I pull up this video.
Yeah, yeah, yes, we must do the right thing to get the expected outcome. There's no, it's not, we are not joking about it. There's no way you will be doing something and that does not make sense, and then you expect that something good will come out of it. You must do the right thing to get. If you want onubo soup, you must go and buy on bitter leaf, and then get ready to make it. You will not be buying okra and expect that one day the okra will convert because your geo told you that if you give him $1,000, that the okra in your soup will turn to bitter leaf soup. It does not. That does not happen. It's
Nope.
criminality. So, like I was saying, I said we do not have a democracy currently. We don't have democracy. Our people, the nation they wanted to build, was hijacked in 1966. And you know what? The indigenous people are saying that the first order of business is to first give the owners of the land democracy, not prolonging this evil legacy by once again handing over Nigerians to another round of another set of criminals who are trying to drive a vehicle without an engine. You can't even move it. You can't even start. Then somebody say, I want to carry you inside it, and I'm taking you to Aginobode, or I'm taking you to
Heaven.
yeah, Lokoja, all those places. There's no engine in the vehicle, and he knows, and they know, they all know there's no engine in the vehicle, but they're giving you manifesto. No constitution means no nation.
Nope.
You don't
Yep.
have a nation yet.
You don't.
So what election are you talking about? Who are you trying to elect? For what? For what purpose? Where are you going? Have you seen the recklessness we're talking about? We want to deliver our people from recklessness. It is an act of recklessness as a parent to put an empty pot on fire and tell your children to pray that food is going to come in 30 minutes.
Try.
You are being irresponsible. You are being wicked as a parent because you brought those children into this world. You must go out and fend and get what they need to eat. Not telling them cock and bull story. Please go ahead, my sister, before I start running.
Cucumber story indeed.
Yes, we come to you once more from the Secretariat of Ninas. It is one thing to complain, raise alarm, make suggestions for how, just lament. It's another to have a strategic plan for how to solve a problem. Everybody has been talking about the constitution that has to be done away with. Everybody has been talking about restructuring. Everybody has been talking about even the ones that say they want to leave the union. The ones they say they want referendum now. Do a nation, Biafra nation, resource control. All those things that you want changed from what Nigeria is, offering you as at now. How will it be done? And we've heard people who probably hadn't paid enough attention to what Ninas is saying. From that constitutional force majeure, anybody who has education, anybody who can read and write, who has not read that proclamation, is shortchanging himself or herself. We plead with you because it could mean life or death for you or people very close to you that you read to know, or that you did not read and therefore did not know. That constitutional force majeure of December 16th, 2020, provided an elaborate framework for engaging all of that reconstruction that must now happen, that has become imperative. Whether you want outright exit from the union of death Nigeria has become for everybody, or you want a return to the autonomy levels agreed at Lancaster House, that's regional autonomy, or you want to control your resources and your environment. We hail the jaw for coming out as clearly as they came out the other day. And we rebuke the Obasanjo that was trying to rebuke them for speaking up. Anything you want, the way and means of getting it done is different from sentiment and lamentations. And therefore, in that constitutional force majeure proclamation of December 16 by Ninas 2020, we had adopted and incorporated a document titled Open Memorandum to President Muhammad Buhari on the restructuring debate from the Alliance, dated November 16, 2018. Guardian newspaper reported on it on November 18, 2020. You can 2018. Sorry, 2 days. We wrote it out on the 16th, and it was in Guardian newspaper on the 18th. We can very easily check that out. And what was it? It is in that open memo on the restructuring debate from the Ninas Alliance, addressed directly to the president, who went to France in that period. He went to Paris to say, all these people who are looking for one adjustment or the other in the constitution, they don't seem to know what they are looking for or how it can be attained. Let them bring it. So he went pretending And I use the word pretend advisedly because he was part of the Fulani delegation that came to Pronaco 2005 2006. He understands exactly what we're talking about. That was why they put restructuring in their manifesto. And so now nobody seems to know how to do it. But we also took time to detail step by step, start to finish, how it can be undertaken. We have acquired a body of knowledge on this subject matter, coming from Nadeko to the Pronaco that took 2 years to bring all the nationalities together to look at the options available to us. And moving on to the MNN that took this constitution to court in 2007 to say we didn't make it, and all of the things that led to the Solomon Assembly, the joint multi-regional actions that became the Solomon Assemblies that we saw in Port Harcourt in April of 2015, in Ibadan in September of 2017, and in Makodi in July of 2018. Those processes have become a body of knowledge sufficient to solve this problem that is looking intractable. And so that open memo is simply, to identify the two-step procedure. Anybody who is talking about calling national conference, or Basojo called national conference, Jonathan called national conference, the reason those conferences didn't work was because the modalities were wrong. If you call another conference today to say, oh, come, let us all reason again, you are going to fail as woefully, even more woefully. What needs to be done is in two stages. That is why we put those 5 points of a proposition in our proclamation. Anybody who will read those 5 points will see exactly how we can come to those two stages. We must accept that constitution we have now cannot carry us anywhere. We must accept that it has to go. We must accept that we can't go to another election under it, so that we can put a time frame. Otherwise, we'll be at this discussion another 10 years, and people will be dying in millions. And so,
Okay, I'll stop the video here. Go ahead, Sister Queen.
Thank you, my sister. So I hope people have heard it, that we're talking about two-step agenda, the indigenous people, we the people. Because sometimes people will say, oh, you people are trying, Ninas. You are part of it. If you are living in that Nigeria called, that's geographical space called Nigeria, if your land is part of the land that was confiscated by the criminals that built Nigeria, then you are part of Nina's project. Because for you to get out of this mess we are talking about, you need processes. And these processes have begun 20 years ago. It's not going to begin now. For those that are setting us up on top of mushroom things, join what has begun. You are part of the process. Join the process. It has begun. While you were sleeping, some people woke up and began the journey. We were not there when they started. We were looking for solution and we found them and we joined. That's what we should do. Stop setting up you're wasting your time and your resources. You both time and you're wasting it. So we are saying, look at what is going on with these politicians. Follow the news. Examine what is going on so that it will make sense to you. We here, we have promised you. We will continue to give you information that will help you to understand what is going on and make the proper decision. Today, we will briefly examine how we got here. From back, the recklessness that brought us here. You see, we did not come here by chance. It didn't happen like, oh, no. Something happened. How is it that Sharia and death is now spreading everywhere? Everywhere. It's not by accident. People planned it and are executing it. It was orchestrated. If it has not reached your village, wait for it. It's a question of time. So far we continue under the 1999 Constitution, it will get to your village. Don't wait for it. So today we are beginning. This is the PowerPoint my sister pulled up. And like we told you, that the heading, what we are looking at today is the recklessness of the elders that has created this poverty that we are seeing. Somebody an analyst in Guardian newspaper called it revolving door game. That the Nigerian leadership is, you know what the revolving door is for those that live in Western countries. This one is coming, this one is going, this one is coming, this one is going. Nothing is being achieved. Until they imposed that 1999 constitution, which is the final caliphate and British victory charter. That's what we call it. And that's what it is. Because they were going to somewhere. We didn't know where they were going. As they were coming in and going out, coming in and going out, we had no clue that it was orchestrated game. I enter, my brother enter, my sister come out, my in-law brother enter, my sister come out, my uncle enter, my auntie come. We were seeing it going on. Although we are starting from 1983, that's not when it began. We told you that since 1966, but we just, because of time, if we go to 1960, we won't finish in 1 hour. That's why we just started in 1 hour. As a result of that, there was lack of continuity in leadership. As this one is coming, this one is going. As this one is coming, this one is going. No continuity in anything. No accountability for anything. No prosecution of criminals. So if one enters, the other one will go out. If you say, I didn't come here to probe my person that came before. I can't even probe him. It's like John the Baptist said, I'm not able to remove the lace of the shoe of my Lord Jesus Christ. So your politicians say, we are not able to remove the shoe of Buhari or IBB because the immunity in 1999 constitution is covering them. They are all covered. They are partners in this crime. And they keep eating and going. And like my sister said when she was introducing this topic, why is it that it's now people are now crying more? Because the resources are thinning out and population is multiplying. We are giving birth like rats. And then the resources in the land is finishing. So you know what? Criminality will increase. Those of you that have built house and put yourself inside one big house, they will use ladder and meet you inside.
Yep.
You can't run away. So we started from December 1983. That was when President Shehu Shahari and Ekweme, who ended it? Buhari came and his groups ended the so-called democracy that people say we are doing. And who announced it? General Sani Abacha. You see, they are friends, generals together, junta, all of them. This one come, this one go, this one come, this one go. Then by August 27, 1885, another criminal came and ended the one that the abracadabra Buhari was doing. Buhari did his own abracadabra for 2 years. So 1985, from 1983 to 85, the more you look, the less you see. Abracadabra, arrest. We won't go into this. There's a video we posted in our wall. It will give you details of what happened, and we're not doing that. Go and find it. It's not hidden. As he was going out, his brother, Ibrahim Babangida, came in and gave us 8 years of dangerous Fulani footwork. We didn't know that they were finishing up because that was when he handed over Nigeria to OIC. We didn't know what it was and took billions and gave to OIC for them to do what you're seeing now. Our people were looking and they were not understanding. It was not making sense to them. And by 1993, we had what we the doctors of truth, we call it musical interlude. Who came? Chief Ernest Sheneko. They didn't even allow him to stay 1 year between August 26th and November 17th. Pam! Another one came and drove him out. Abacha. So in 1993, Sheneko was swept out. Get away from here. What are you doing? Don't you know this game is for the boys, for the big boys? General Abacha came. That one lasted from 1993 to 1998 with his own atrocities. All this one with all atrocities. But in all these atrocities and abracadabra that people were looking at, one thing remained constant: decay of infrastructure, damage to our economy, sabotage, everything. It was continuous. What did he do when he came? He increased the price of petroleum products. The colonial masters did not like it. The West, they didn't like it. Even the people did not like it because that one now was biting them direct. Everything got, the price went up. So people started protesting. What did he do? He created Petroleum Trust Fund. Yes. And who did he put in charge? His brother and friend, General Muhammad Buhari. He became the executive chairman of PTF for 5 years, from 1994 to 1999. And what did your brother, your General Buhari do? He created what you call Afri Project Consortium, APC. Brought his brother-in-law called Saliho or whatever, Ahmed. These things are open to become in charge of it. Just like this, how Dangote has now taken over refineries and everything. That's what the first thing Buhari did. He put his brother-in-law to be in charge of that APC. APC became the sole management consultant to PTF. PTF had a life of its own. He was a parallel government. Nobody was controlling it. He was running on his own. APC awarded contracts at varying prices. When they sleep, wake up, they say, oh, you, I like your face. Take 2 billion. Oh, your face is too ugly. Take 2 million. Oh, you're not my brother. Take 1 million. Recklessness. Without any reference to the so-called PTF.
Sure.
PTF running his own parallel government. Nigeria government under Abacha was running their own parallel government. APC was doing his own parallel bazaar. And you know what? APC had 620 consulting firms reporting. So it was bazaar. Sorry for those that don't understand Igbo. It's abracadabra music. They do it like this for you. If you take this one, I take this one. You take that one, my money, your money go. This one. That's what our people were watching. Oh, our people were watching.
Why? This is too much.
1997 to 1998. Who came? Chief Defense Staff was General Abdul Salam Abubakar. Yes, the one that gave you that 1999 Constitution. He was the defense staff. His assignment was very simple. What was the assignment? To take out Abacha and take out MK Abiola. So it's a simple assignment. Very easy. So in June 8th, Abacha was taken out. In July 7th of the same year, 1998, MK Abiola was taken out. You're too troublesome. He was sent by the West to do that job. Remove these people that are too troublesome. They are making too much trouble because we are saying that the thing happening in Nigeria, the ones inside have the people that are working for outside Nigeria. So that team, that partners together. Guess who is suffering? The masses. And you know what? When all these things are going on, the stupid church leaders, the GOs, what would they be doing? Washing the brain of our people. Hey, we prayed and God removed Abacha. We prayed and God did this. No, it's not your prayer, Mumu. It's orchestrated work going on. How come your prayer has not killed Buhari? How come your prayer has not removed him again? How come your fasting has not removed Buhari or made him to repent and become born again and accept Jesus Christ as his Lord and Savior? How come? Even when he had pastor of Sibanjo as his vice president, why is Sibanjo not praying and fasting for Buhari to become born again? See blood everywhere, pouring everywhere, northeast, northwest, middle belt, southeast, southwest, south, everywhere. So in 1998 to 1999, your General Abdul Salam, after a job well done, became de facto president of Nigeria. Are you people following? And then they brought the 1999 Constitution. That is that one they say
to seal the damn Yeah.
Because people say, hey, we'll be having constitution. Da, 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 da. Just don't. And we don't want ignorant people to be speaking in public, please. Because you're confusing our people and distracting them. So they install what we call the Victory Charter. That 1999 constitution is the Victory Charter for Sharia law. And they started testing it in the 12 northern states. That's why Buhari told you, I will do everything within my life to make sure that Sharia is spread all over Nigeria. That is their territory. And who did they use to now put it in place? Your General Olusegun Obasanjo. Olusegun Obasanjo. Yeah, for those that understand Igbo. Olusegun Obasanjo. Ọnọkwa na-efegharị kịta ka ụkpana Japan. Why did they bring him? To compensate Southwest for killing MKO Abiola, because it wasn't a natural death. He was killed. He was murdered. There's something he said in his campaign that angered the colonial masters, and they took him out. So those that can dig, they go and dig. These things are not hidden, they're in public spaces. This your Obasanjo at a time boasted that he spent $16 billion on power. Oh no, on darkness, because Obasanjo spent $16 billion to create darkness.
To produce darkness.
What else did Obasanjo do? Obasanjo now came to wind up PTF because his brother, his master, Buhari, has finished what he came to do. So he came to finish, round it up. Not to probe, is to round it up and say, okay, let's phase out this group. Let's bring another one, because this one now, people are not used to this one. Let's bring another one. And you know what? Within the life of PTF, 144.51 billion. What did we say? 144.51 billion was recklessly scattered.
Hey!
Why wouldn't you be poor? Tell me, why wouldn't there be hunger in Nigeria? Why would you have infrastructure? Tell me one reason why you should have, why people will not be escaping from that hellhole called Nigeria. Tell me one reason. So Obasanjo set up what he called PTF Interim Management Committee. And they have a way of speaking English. They will set it off. This one is set up INEC. This one is set up PTF. This one is said, my people are watching. Okay, we're going to give you the distribution of PTF, because when Obasanjo came now, they now summarized everything. Okay, the PTF that Abacha created, because people were protesting, because we told the people that what has been happening is the more you look, the less you see. You protest, they remove, if you protest for NSAS, they will remove NSAS and bring the same thing, but give it another name. You protest and they increase this one. You keep playing into their hands. Playing into their hands. Why? Because of the 1999 Constitution. You did not make it. It is their tool of enslavement. That's why you cannot have anything good in it. So let's look at what they spent 144 billion to do. Let's look at the distribution, the percentage distribution, because we're telling people that this is a game of monkey they walk, baboon they chop. We are talking about oil that came from the south. Okay. They said under Buhari that they are doing rehabilitation of teaching hospitals. 38% in the south, where you have more population. They just did 38%. In the north, where there's nothing, they did 62%. That's where the 62% of the fund went there. When people start saying, oh, the north is more developed, oh, they have better hospital. Look at where we are. This is how we got there. They did their specialist hospitals. Whatever sham they did, 29%. In the no, there's a switch.
Okay, I made a mistake. Just read the right one, my dear.
So this whole thing, this south is in the north, and this north is this. So just the heading.
Okay.
The heading.
I see. Okay, I can fix that.
So in the north, in the south, they have 29%. In the north, they have 71%. This is where we don't have human beings, where we have only cows, goats passing around. They spent 71% of the money for teaching hospital, for specialist hospitals in the north. Vocation program, 3% in the south, 97% in the north. Yet, almajris feel everywhere in the north. For some politicians that like speaking English, oh, the north, just give them this, they will be like 97% of the money was spent in the north. Yet, the children of the north are still hungry. Where did the money go to? Are you people asking? Are you people thinking? Can you see that we have entered Moto Ndiohi? This is called one chance. Primary school rehabilitation. In the south, 12%. In the north, 88%. Yet, the northern children are out of school. How many millions are not inside school? 88% of Buhari's PTF fund was spent for them. Yeah. Food supply, 17% in the south, 83% in the north. Northern children are still hungry. Hausa children are still hungry because they are conquered slaves. National Health and Educational Rehabilitation Program, 0% in the south, 100% in the north. Yet, VVF is killing them in the north. Yet, nothing, no, they are not healthy. Leprosy, every evil is there, killing the children.
Chimo.
Then we come to rehabilitation of roads. Yes, in the south, 24%. They rehabilitated 4,444 kilometers, 0.43 kilometers. In the north, they did how many percentage in the north? There's something not right. But I'll get it. It's 76%. Please, can you correct it? In the north, it's not 13, it's 76% in the north. So in the south, rehabilitation of roads, they did 24%. In the north, 76%. And how many kilometers did they cover? 13,870 kilometers. So have you seen when you travel in the north, when only cows are passing, you see express going everywhere. Then in the south, where people are more, you see potholes everywhere. And people will say, oh, ask your leaders in the south, ask your governors in the south, hold them accountable because people in the north are working. The total amount of PTF projects, the total, 30% in the south. Correct this, please. 30% in the south.
It is 30%, right?
There's
For the
something.
total PTF
Oh,
project.
okay. Yes, you're correct.
Yeah, yeah.
You're correct. 30% in the south, 70% in the north. Yet, consumption of petroleum is the opposite.
It's the other way around.
Consumption of petroleum in the south is 70%. But the project from the money spent on it is 30%.
And
then
we are referring to this 144.5 billion naira.
exactly how they spent it. That's what they're telling you about others. So they built residential estates at Wuse. How much did it cost? 703 million naira. We are talking of how we got to this poverty. We're talking of how we created poverty.
My heart is racing, Sister. This is too much. Can we
We're
take
talking
a
of
break?
how we ended here, creating poverty and hunger for our people because elders are reckless. Our parents are reckless. While all this recklessness was going on, they were drinking palm wine and eating pepper soup. Why the food that their children will eat was
Yeah.
They built headquarters of PTF. How much? 650 million naira. So by the time this Obasanjo came, this whole money that was spent, disbursed and everything, The whole project were 30% completion. What did we say? This whole thing, they scattered everywhere. It was just 30%. That's the status, 30% completion. 70% of the funds apportioned were embezzled. Bam! Through the window. 125 billion. That one can't even be accounted for. We don't know where it entered. That one just developed wing and flew. Ewo, flew away. 28 billion they spent on expired HIV and AIDS kits that they said they want to supply nationwide. Eventually, the doctors said, like, we're not using this thing because it's expired. Of course, they came and started trying to take those kits back, but the money had gone like that. 28 billion. Then there was this 500 million cash that was in one bank deposited. So by the time they just started doing this constitution committee to get them to find out what is going on, like to put things together, that one disappeared. Piam, from the bank. Cash. It disappeared. They now found out that all the projects had no contract documents, no drawings, no specifications, nothing. And you know what? They now called Mr. Ahmad, Buhari's in-law. Oga, come and explain and give us some documents. Let's understand this thing. He said, come and collect it. They went there in the morning. The man collapsed and died. Only in Nigeria. The case closed. That's how we summarized ETF and closed it. When you kill Ahmad, the whole thing will close. Nobody will ask about it again because other members of staff said, we are not able to give you any information. We are not in position to give you anything. No reports. We can't give you any report because the organ on top that had the information has died. Only in Nigeria. Only in Nigeria will you be hearing this type of thing. And elders are sitting down watching like Momo. Only in Nigeria. What's the implication of all this? Somebody will say. What's the implication of this recklessness? Okay, briefly, we'll tell you. More people migrated from the south, especially the southeastern part, to the north to set up businesses, making south uninhabitable. And then as a result, more people escaping from that south, going to Libya, to Europe, to America, through Mediterranean Sea, through the desert, so that as they move out, Fulani and Chinese will come and take over. Are you people following the process? Are you following the strategy? Are you following what is going on? To understand that what is happening to you is not by chance, it's not by accident, it's orchestrated. And we told you that poverty in Nigeria was orchestrated. Obviously, we cannot exhaust this topic in 1 hour. I'm telling you. We didn't even mention the 2.8 billion, the equivalent of $3 billion. And in 2015, that amount was like 555 billion naira. It got missing in 1978. That is before Shagari even came. Guess who was in charge? Buhari. He was the petroleum minister then, just like he's the petroleum minister now. And he was the head of NNPC then. Where did all this money go to? There's a video we posted on Daughters of Truth Wall. Go there, go and start having an idea of what is going on. And you know what? With the immunity in 1999 Constitution, you will not try them. Peter Obi will not try them. Abubakar, Tinubu, all of them gallivanting up and down. They will not do anything about this thing I'm telling you about. They will not do anything about it.
Hi.
No one will open those archives under the 1999 Constitution. So where are you going to get the resources? You saying you want to execute the beautiful economic and security ideas that you are using to confuse my people. All those nonsense you are putting in your political manifestos. Where are you going to get the money to execute it? Where all the money has finished? Have you seen what we're saying, my people? That we are simply allowing ourselves to be deceived because we are continuing in this gullibility. The people aided Buhari. How did Buhari become larger than life? From beginning, since 1966, 70, that he killed Biafrans in that Biafra genocide. Then him and all his friends, all the generals, all of them participated in doing that. Since then, till today, Buhari has been in charge of petroleum, this section. What is interesting here? Is he competent enough to manage that place? Why is he so interested in being in charge of that place? Because he wants to fulfill his dreams and his vision. Our reckless elders supported him, built him. The chief of all them all is Obasanjo. These are unrepentant criminals. Tinubu, Adeboye of Redeem, Osibanjo that is carrying his handbag. Why? Because of personal interest. A cut from the national cake. Okay, now they're eating the cake, but the people are dying. When will these people repent? When will they confess? When will they make a U-turn and tell our people that where they're going, there's no road? Is Obasanjo a man you can trust to make decisions for you? Can't you see that I have been listening to those that are suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder? Like this person's wife, Buhari's wife, just confessed that her husband is mad. I know she's trying to say so that they will not try him and say, oh, he's mad. But he's not the only one mad. All of them that have been doing this revolving game, they are all mad. They have mental illness. It's called PTSD. It's a form of medical illness that needs instant medical attention. But we have allowed them to be gallivanting up and down in public space, making leadership decisions for over 200 millions of people. Why would my people suffer? Why would my people die? Are you people following? Are you people
This is too
following?
much, Sister Man. I still can't get over it. Oh my goodness. Okay.
There's some picture we'll show you before we go to the question and answer because we want you to be part of it. We just want to run through some pictures, just clip so that you go and now look for the information, That's you now like, okay, so and because you just clip. We don't want to show the videos because it will waste our time since we know you can look for them by yourself. So you go and get them, please, and look at them by yourself. You understand? The first one we're showing you is there's something that our people put up. Is the first picture. It's an interesting graphic. Yes, look at this. Our people are just trying to create something. I mean, this is real. They didn't create it, but this is example of the local Focado's hub. This is just representing each pipe you're seeing there. This is not the real thing. The real thing is big vessel, big giant pipes that our brother Tompolo is discovering. So we just want to use this for you to have an idea of what we're talking about. Each of these represent each pipe belongs to a different set of cabals. Each. This thing, you see, like parasites. You see, these pipes are like parasites, and that's the host. We, the people, are the host. These ones are the parasites, uncountable parasites. What made it possible for these parasites to come and be sucking us to death? These tapeworms you're seeing, these are tapeworms for those in healthcare. You know that when tapeworm is inside your stomach, you will never grow like a human being. You look like HIV patients. How do you think Nigeria will survive? Where is P2B going to get the resources that he will use? As he has confirmed, that is government that is stealing the crude oil. Okay, now you know, P2B. Now you know. Now you know. Why are you lying to my people then?
And it's the same government The same handlers of crude oil that is supporting him.
Exactly. Does it
Hmm.
make sense, my people? Does it make sense? The next picture, that's a clip from a publication. It says the oil theft. NNPC says illegal pipeline operated off Fakados for 9 years.
Anamano.
For 9 years. It's beyond 9 years. And then WikiLeaks, there's a document implicating Atiku in oil bunkering, the crude oil theft. Yes, Atiku, your presidential candidate. What be telling me here? Bring up his face so that those that do not know Atiku will see his hard face. You see his hard face. This is a criminal face. Yes.
The $1 billion guy.
Yes, he's so smart. He's a billionaire. Why the rest of us are picking? Because we don't have the acumen to do business. We can't do business. Yes. As a medical doctor, your salary cannot even pay school fees for your children. You have to run out of the country and escape. But this Dons is the Don.
Cronies.
Yes, to make him money. How did he get into it? Okay, Shehu Yaradua is the big brother of late Umaru Yaradua. Abubakar, Atiku Abubakar, is his protege. So the whole money that they shared. Remember, Shehu Yaradua was one of the generals that shared the loot of Nigeria. They conquered Nigeria in that war and shared the loot among themselves. All the generals, IBBO, Babangida, Abacha, all of them, they shared it. Obasanjo. So Abubakar is his house boy representing him. So he took over. So in other words, it's an Atiku has a hand. There's a Twitter post that says Atiku has a hand in oil bunkering and crude oil theft in Nigeria. The reason he has been keeping quiet since the expose. See, we're not the ones saying these things. That's why we're showing you clips so that nobody will say Doctors of Truth is saying something that is not. It's real. So that can look for them. Look at it and look for this document and read the details. Yes, illegal oil deals. Federal government fails to recover $69 billion loot in American banks.
That's why it was easy for him to sign and seal and deliver us.
Yes.
In one envelope.
Yep. Are we seeing it? 28 naira trillion. Yeah. Trillion naira. 28.3 trillion. When you're hearing money, your ear will be doing. Illegal funds remain in Texas banks as we speak since the firm's discovery in 2019. EX, whatever, Azazi, $99 billion loot can be recovered within 3 months. US firm, like all these are there. This is just one. Switzerland, we're not talking of those ones. Like everywhere, the resources of Nigeria has been scattered everywhere, and the children are hungry. And then our politicians who have been partners ask Peter Obi where he's made his money from now.
No, I know where he made it from. He came from heaven, girl. He was flying and Jesus stopped the plane and packed it up with money, and then he landed.
We are not giving shishi. Oga, where did you make the shishi from? The billions you have. I have billions, but I'm not giving shishi. Is it not the worst criminal? At least some of these other criminals, they stole, but they are giving shishi to help the people that they've stolen from. This particular criminal is so hardened and unrepentant that he has the right to be gallivanting everywhere, telling us to our face and say, I'm not giving shishi. Meanwhile, everything is inside the bank. Well, ask him where he made his billions from.
We still don't know how he went from one party overnight and become the party leader.
He's only in Nigeria now. He can become anything in Nigeria. He can sleep in Nigeria and wake up in Biafra, remember? Only in Nigeria. It's only Nigerians that tell stories like that. Sleep off in the church, wake up and become a billionaire. God has done a miracle. Yes. Where did the billion come from? I just saw it in my bank. How did he enter there? The Lord did it. Angel Gabriel. Oh, angel. Yes, angel Gabriel, the messenger angel. He dropped it in my bank. I slept and woke up. I saw 10 million. Yes. That is the money
Oh.
that they would have used to build your roads, build your hospitals. That's what
Mm.
is going on. Nwata na-ata akara na-ata ego ya. Nigerians, you've been eating your akara and you're eating your money. And so far, you continue in that your 1999 constitution, you will remain poor. What did we say? You will remain poor. And you'll be escaping. As you're escaping, they'll be catching you. Xenophobia will be catching you in South Africa, burning you. Angola, everywhere. They'll be dealing with you. Why? Because you are. I don't want to cost this money. Let me just leave it. I don't know what you are, but you know what you are. You can give yourself. So we want to go into this kind of semi-interactive session, just for our brain, because we have said so many things right now. Let's think together. The first question we asked, we said, guess who has been Minister of Petroleum since 2015 that he took over power for 8 years? My people, who was that? Your guess is right. Yes, Buhari. That's why once he took over power, because that's the lead he was coming for. He was not coming to lead you people. It's to have opportunity to put his siphon parasitic hose in that petroleum and be sucking. Where is he sucking it to? Who is he giving it to? We will get there. So who is the commander-in-chief for Boko Haram and headsmen and Nigerian military? He's the commander-in-chief for both Boko Haram, headsmen, Nigerian military. He's in charge of all of them. Who? Okay, you got it right, Buhari. The type, my sister will check out for those that are typing, because we are looking to see those that are following the class. Those are following the typing your answers as we are asking you questions. Number 3, it says, is Buhari's long-term show of incompetence intentional, or is it a craft or deception? Which one is it? Find out. We have passed 1 hour. Do you want us to stop or just run through?
No, no. Let's finish the questions
Okay.
and answers.
Okay. So, whose wife made open confession? Say, my husband is mentally ill. Oh. He's suffering from PTSD. For those that don't know that PTSD.
I guess PTSD of squandering too much money on yourself,
Yes.
like money that the universe have never heard of. You
killing all
squandered it
the
all by
children.
yourself.
And killing all the children in Biafra land. Why won't you suffer for PTSD? All of them are suffering from it. Yes. Now she's changing. Maybe she's please forgive my husband. He doesn't know what he's doing because he's mentally sick. So if you knew he was sick, why did you allow him to come and start leading my people?
Ndori.
And the P2B is confessing that the government of Nigeria is the one stealing crude oil. Really?
Good morning.
Good morning. Who is the government of Nigeria? You, Buhari, your brothers, your colleagues. Who? So if you know this, and you know that you cannot probe the cabals, why are you allowing them to sponsor you? Why are you allowing them to support you under the 1999 Constitution? And you know immunity covers them, and you can't try them. You can't retrieve our resources. So you are all partners in crime.
Criminals.
You are criminals. So what is the business of you going to Harvard to go and be discussing what with Harvard people?
Who is
Are
Harvard?
they the ones voting?
Harvard. Isn't Harvard the one creating training all the terrorists that we have in Africa?
Exactly.
Harvard.
So what's the business of this man sitting down for us to get solution, going to Harvard, so that we see that you went to Harvard to speak English? Do they have voters card at Harvard? Those that are living in diaspora, they cannot vote. What business are you doing with them? Okay, I forgot. When they give you money, you now set up contract and give them contract. That's why you're calabating everywhere. Instead of sitting down for us to find solution to what is going on in our land. Have you people seen?
Ndori.
Why would P2B support us to end this worse than apartheid situation? No, it's about money making. How many Americans and Europeans or politicians come to Nigeria to campaign? and make promises to Nigerians about the resources that are stealing from us. My people, we need to begin to think. This syndicate job or deal about economic sabotage, because when they take your oil, is economic sabotage. It's involving Buhari, all the military generals, all the colonial masters, all their politicians, all their GOs and church leaders. They are all partners in this. It's a syndicate job. So let nobody deceive you. So could this be the source of the sophisticated arms that they are using to kill us today? For all these years that Buhari was siphoning all this money, who was he giving it to? He was using it to build terrorism so that they will come and attack us, put war on our people, take their land and resources. Because we have been asking, who is buying 47 AK-47 for ordinary herdsmen, children that are carrying stick?
Even elementary school students.
Yes, and one of those guns is like $2,000. Who has been buying it for these people? Have you seen where your money is going to? So was this why Goodluck Ebele Jonathan was hastily removed in 2015? Because he wanted to implant microchips in tankers and possibly the vessels. He wanted to build Almajiri schools so that we educate the northern children and they will not be a supply for these terrorist merchandise. These people that are selling evil. So we see our people. In closing, will you not support the push for this man to step aside, either willingly or being compelled, like they did in South Africa in 1990? The president stepped aside. He was ill, whether by natural cause or by whatever, and then transitional government began. Today we have worse than apartheid situation. It's worse, and people are being massacred. And we need Buhari, with his post-traumatic stress disorder, to step aside and go to hospital. And so that transitional government will begin today, not 2023, now. Now. Support Ninas. Support what we are here to do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sister, for that knockout information. Since we've been preparing this information, I'm still jumpy about this is too much. Like my spirit can't even take it. How can all these things be happening and people are okay with voting in the next criminal? How can you be okay with all of this? Do you actually believe that you're going to get a life out of what these people are promising you? The same politicians that have been running around with their handlers, because they all have handlers. None of them will come out on their own. They all have handlers, including St. Peter Obi. All of them. They are deceiving our people. This is too much for my spirit. When we are talking about billions upon billions and trillions and zillions, and our children, especially in the northern region, they don't have anything to show for it. They have convinced our Christian people to be brainwashing our people on the other side. They convince our northern people to be brainwashed with the Islamic, stupid, whatever religion they are doing. And our people are suffering. When are we going to say glory to the black race? Glory to the black people. Glory to the black man. Why are you guys allowing these enemies to use you and use our resources to destroy our own people? Where have you seen a white person shooting another white person? Where? Playing that they are in the same continent. Where have you seen that, apart from the madness of Russia and everything else? Even at that, Ukraine has support to deter Russia from what they're doing. But you guys, especially you guys in the northern area, you will collect money, abandon your children, be gallivanting in your Saudi Arabia with your goods and your diamond and your ugly self, and your children are dying. When are you going to worry about the future of a black child? That's what it's called. When are you going to be allegiant to your children and not to your religion? When are you going to do the right thing so that your children will inherit something and be able to pass it on to the next generation? When are we going to worry about our collective well-being? Not what your imam said, not what your pastor said, not what they said in Roman Catholic, and you come from Isoch and you're going to Roman Catholic. When are you going to get over this and start thinking about we first? We first, me, you, and your children first, before anything else. Imagine what kind of a place we will live for our children if we start thinking we first. As we're speaking, we're seeing little children with AK-47. They don't even know how to spell. They'll have AK-47 speaking whatever they are speaking on their neck. Where are the books? Where are the sciences? Where are the things that will get them ready for the center stage to fight other or to contest other children coming from other worlds? You see that we're deceiving ourselves, brown people? They will use us, get us to fight ourselves, use our resources to hold us down, while them and their children are ordering Uber Eats on their phone. Brown people, wake up. Wake up. Criminals stealing billions and billions and billions and billions for the past 1 million years. It's still not enough. Look at Buhari. Does he look like someone that have even eaten 1 naira? Talk less of billions or billions. Black men, save your race. Wake up. Stop the disease. Stop the madness. Stop the brainwash. We want to live a sustainable future for our children. We can never overemphasize that. Especially those of you that like to sleep with our little children and get them pregnant. For what? What are you giving birth for if you're not preparing for that child that you're giving birth to? Enough of the criminality. We are calling out northern leaders because all you guys are funding this criminality and terrorism. You guys, to what effort are you leading all this? For what are you guys doing this for? So that Saudi people will be living and waiting for Africans to come and serve them as a maid? They don't even want you inside your place if you're stealing billions from Africa to come and see them. Go there and as ordinary black person, they will take you out. Either they have you sleeping with their dog or the man will be sleeping with you, the son is sleeping with you. Why are brown people funding all this religious madness when our continent is vulnerable? Oh, I don't want to get too excited. Thank you guys for joining us. We have laid out so many questions for you guys to answer. And we have actually answered all of them for you. It's a no-brainer. You will never get the kind of nation that you wish for as long as you continue with this 1999 fraudulent criminal constitution. Lie to yourself. Send me text message. The election is going to happen. Yes, but it will elect you, and then you and your people will go down. You will elect yourself for death. That's what you're letting yourself for. We're telling you guys that it's a way out. There is a way out. Don't end up like Osinachi. Don't abandon what you're supposed to do to help yourself and leave it for God to do. God is not going to do it because you're a criminal. If you think somebody else is going to do it for you, you are the criminal. You're worse than Buhari. Go for the right thing. Do the right thing. Make the right move so that we can get a nation that we are proud of. Right now, what you guys have is a slave camp. A slave camp, Abun in circles. Either they are using musicians to deceive you, they will use celebrities that cannot keep a husband and a child. They will be running for assistant governor. They will use people that are doing comedy to come and run for an election. And you're asking, get in the middle of Budonka, what is going on? Who are these people in our land? Who are these people that don't have any value and standard and ethics to look at? Why are we looking at men that cannot manage a wife and 2 children? Why are we looking at women that cannot manage their husband and their children? If you cannot run a household, you don't get to run our people. Go and get your household in order first. Get your household in order. Oh, this is too much. Anyway, please help us to share, like, distribute, subscribe. I don't know all the big words that are being used to get this social thing out there. We will continue to educate you guys. This work must be done. No gates of hell will prevent it. This work, brown people must live a good life. Glory to black people. Glory to Ukraine. Glory to black people. Wake up and do the right thing, black people. Wake up and do the right thing. God is not coming. More, another 500 years will go by. We must do the right thing. We want to create an environment that is sustainable for all of our children. all of our children. It's no longer okay for a child to be bathing with cow urine in 2022. They need to be in class. If you cannot train them, close your bottom. Close shop down there. I don't want to get too excited. We'll see you guys next week. Bye. Continue to help us to share. Thank you so much.